Alright folks, welcome to the higher time frame market forecast where I predict where EURUSD will go in a longer term basis for the next week or next couple weeks. And last week I apologize that I was wrong in my higher time frame market forecast, but we were still correct throughout the whole week. On this specific week was because the short-term drawn liquidity paved the way to the long-term drawn liquidity. As you guys know, short-term liquidity will always lead to drawn liquidity. If you're wrong about the long-term drawn liquidity, just follow the short-term draw on liquidity. You will lead to the longer-term draw on liquidity. And the reason why we were wrong from last week was simply because of the price action details. As you guys know, before the market takes out this week, it will first reflect out of the resistance block. You first reflect out of the start of the resistance block, go lower, accumulate, which it did, go up higher, tap the 50% of the resistance block, then go lower again, which it did, and accumulate. Then I'll eventually go target, attack the high of the resistance block. Because at first we were going from a weekly IRL to ERL. We were correct, yes, but there was a buy side liquidity over here. So we thought a weekly IRL to ERL from weekly ERL back to IRL. But this IRL is useless because that there's a price action details involved, which is the resistance block price action details. And eventually you guys know, I just told you guys why the reasoning here. Now let me show you guys an example of it in the past, because as you guys know, you must always have proof to what you do. If you don't have proof, and then it's not true. Before the market sale this week, market first tap the start of it, go lower, which it did, accumulate, then eventually tap the 50% mark, then go lower again, accumulate, which it did, eventually target the high. And how is this a resistance block? By wondering, well, how do I truly know that this is a resistance block? Because every candle has a wick here. How do you know that this resistance block is actual resistance block? It's simply by looking for an order block. As you guys know, a order block at the edge of the order block at the wicks is where resistance block lies on. This is an order block. Let's look at liquidity. Eventually, this is how come this is a resistance block here now? Because the order block was there, right? So how do you know, once again, that this is a resistance block? Because this wick every candle is simply through looking for an order block, because the order block doesn't form every single minute. High probability order block doesn't form every single minute. So that helps you pave the way of low probability resistance blocks and help you focus on only high probability order blocks, which have order blocks in them. In this case, right up here had an order block supporting this resistance block. So the resistance block had right up here had an order block supporting it. So which what led it to be a actual resistance block. Then when that happens, then you could consider what? What can you consider? Then you could consider the price action details on resistance blocks where it taps the start, goes lower, accumulates, set the 50%, goes lower, accumulates, and eventually targets the high. But let's get to this specific week. That's a little lesson on the resistance block and price action details. And yeah, now we're wondering, well, how come this? Now from the at the moment we have a weekly ERL to IRL. Is the order block. Why does his IRL? This IRL filled the fair value. This IRL, this order block filled this fair value gap. So it plays a role as a IRL. As you guys know, order blocks are a form of an IRL, but I most of the time follow only fair value gaps on the lower time frame. On the higher time frame, through pricing details, order blocks does play as a role as a IRL, because I'm looking for this IRL to this order block to get respected. The tap it, and then to go from this IRL back to ERL, etc., etc. So at the weekly time frame, at the moment we have a weekly ERL to IRL, as well we have a weekly CRT here. I'm looking for the weekly CRT how they're getting priced first, then going down to the weekly CRT low. Now going down to the lower time frame. How will this weekly CRT high get priced first? Because we have context in the lower time frame, the short-term drawn liquidity. Right, as you guys know, short-term liquidity will always lead to the longer-term drawn liquidity. So right over here in a weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, is our short-term liquidity. The short-term liquidity is bullish, so which will take out the weekly CRT high, then eventually go down lower. At the short term liquidity, we have a daily SMT IRL to ERL, a daily CRT SMT to the upside. So we could first go purge out this high. Let me go get the chart, purge out this high. Then eventually we purge out the weekly CRT high, then eventually go down to the weekly CRT low and tap the weekly order block. And yeah, eventually the short-term journal could go from a daily SMT IRL to ERL, eventually go from an ERL back to down to IRL and still respect the CRT here. So this is my weekly market forecast. This is all I have. Pretty easy day. Now looking over to GU and DXY, we're only looking for SMTs here. On GU, weekly time frame is cozy here. We see, okay, we have nothing on weekly time frame for a GU. Going down to DXY, we have nothing down here as well. So now go down to daily time frame. The only reason why we are analyzing GU and DXY is because of the SMTs here, right? On a daily time frame with SMT with a correlated pair, which is EU. So has SMT to the ERL. Now going down to lower time frame with the other pair. Same thing over here. Go to this daily fair value gap that got tapped. You see, every pair has their own protocol. Daily IRL back to ERL. So the daily CRT to the upside with a SMT with EU. So yeah, and now both main pair are EU and DXY. Thank you for watching. This is my weekly market forecast. Going over the higher time liquidity. You guys like, comment, share. Join the channel below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.